Morning all, it's me again. I'm Tim, this is How to Murder Feet, and I'm on the Suffolk coast still. What is it, 10:51 on Tuesday the 13th of May. This is day 3 of my current little holiday jaunt. 3 of 4.5, well 5 I suppose. And this is the Bawdsey Ferry. There's the bike, all shackled up to that bar there, with a little picture of a bicycle on one post, specifically for the purpose. I feel like I'm contributing. This is the Bawdsey Ferry, Felixstowe Ferry, I don't know which one you technically call it really. There's a white button you have to wave if you want the ferry to come and pick you up. I'm alright, I'm going the other way today. So there's a convenient map over here. I'm just having a bit of a rest and a drink after my warm-up bike ride. 12 miles I think today. And about the same, 12-13, walking back to where the car is. I put the car in a cheeky pub car park. Said pub is only open on Fridays, Saturdays and Sundays, so I hope they won't mind, but there was a sign saying for customers only. Give me a faint sense of anxiety to power me through the day, you know. It's a bit like wild camping, you know. Nobody really cares, but I worry too much about it all. But yes, so there's a map I can use. Suffolk coast and heaths. So here we are. Did all that last time. Did this yesterday and the day before. The Deben. We are finished with this Deben today. We're now striking off along the coast in earnest. So we are going. It starts with a bit of an inland detour, to be honest, because the cliffs are all eroded around the PGL place. But very shortly after, we'll be onto the coast and following it for a little bit. And then we start hitting Orford Ness as a big sandbar blocker there. And we get to Butley Channel, Butley River. And then we're going up to the top of Butley River to Chillesford, which is about here. That's where the car is. So it's about 12-13 miles today, but no mucking about with inland detours much, because today the ECP and the Suffolk Coast Path, which is an actual established real thing that I could follow and has signs and arrows and stuff, all follow the same route for the whole day. So that's good, because the ECP is a bit slapdash in this region, to be honest. It's very much of the state of one-day national trail rather than actual thing you can follow. I'm still cross about that whole seawall incident from yesterday. But no, there's a whole bunch of blue circles with, here we go, look, I'll show you one right now. Blue circles with yellow arrows on, indicating the Suffolk Coast Path, which the England Coast Path co-ops for quite a long way. There we go. The Suffolk Coast Path actually goes across the ferry there, but I don't, because I'm a masochist. So anyway, I'm just about ready to start walking. I'm surprised how little impact the cycling has added. I mean, I'm getting a bit of a proto blister coming up on this foot, which will probably be, I imagine, will be a lot of fun and games tomorrow, but because tomorrow's quite a long one as well on foot. But cycling uses entirely different contact points on the feet, so don't exacerbate any blisters or cause any new ones. I know you can get in saddle problems, you know, that's fine. I'm not really on the bike a long time, it's only like an hour a day. But that's sort of vastly increased the flexibility of what I'm able to achieve with these trips, which is fantastic, because again, there's absolutely nothing public transport wise up to here. I've been following that most of the day, actually, most of the morning. I was coming back down the number 41 Suffolk coastal route on a bike. But there's my coast path as well. So yeah, we're looking for these today. We're following them back to the village where my car is. Here we go, you can actually see the village pointed out on this one. Chillesford. It's basically at the top of the Butley River. Now there's a foot ferry there, but again, I'm not allowed to take it. But then this all round Orford is quite complex as well. So that's tomorrow's problem anyway. Let's not worry about it. So yeah, I'm going to strike off now. So I'm going to carry on, I'm going to go back up this road. This will be the 6th time I've gone along this road in 2 days. With the various, you know, farmer picking up a bag of chickens and a fox of grain and stuff. And by the end of today, I'll have come along here 8 times, because I'm going to have to come back along here with the car to come and get the bike this evening, this afternoon, and then once I've got the bike, go back up the road again to go back to the hotel. But hopefully, you know, the 8th time will be the last. Nice enough place and all, but I've got places to be, which is essentially Berwick-on-Tweed and then Minehead before I die. So let's crack on. Speak to you more soon. Yes, still annoyed about that. I imagine one day that will be a part of the ECP, but who knows why it isn't already. I don't honestly know how many people work at the England Coast Path Department of National Trails Gov UK, but obviously busy people, and there's a lot of, to be fair, a lot of ground to cover. And I imagine there are troublesome parts of it, perhaps unconventional parts. I mean, you know, common logic would say just use the ferry, you know, and that's what the Suffolk Coast Path does, but I guess they've taken a view that they don't want a single man with a speedboat to be a linchpin on the existence of this national trail, you know. So I can see the point. But that means they need to pull their finger out and deal with the bits that haven't traditionally been coastal paths. It could be litigation, all sorts of legal stuff. It could be they just haven't got enough blokes to go out there and put little discs on fence posts, you know. I don't know. Yeah, I remember first hearing about the ECP, the King Charles III England Coast Path. I remember first hearing about it when I was sort of about a week or two out of Minehead on the South West Coast Path. You know, I remember reading about it and thinking, wow, that'd be amazing. Imagine doing all of that, and now here I am, you know. But that was, I think back then, that was about 2018, and it was scheduled to be complete by 2021, and it's now 2025, and as regular viewers will know, quite a lot of it's not ready even now. However, I did see, well, where was I? Yes, the Orwell Bridge, you know, the big terrifying concrete flyover I did like last week, you know, the previous week's trip. As I was driving, because I'm actually commuting across there now, it's my life now. It's very busy in the mornings. I seem to be catching rush hour both ways around Ipswich, coming and going to the hotel, morning and evening. So, but that's okay. I'm on holiday and I don't have anywhere real to be. So, but yes, I actually saw ECP signage pointing up and over the bridge and then down the thing down the side. That definitely wasn't there last time when I was there last year. So people are doing stuff. It is slowly taking shape. It'd be mean to suggest nobody's taking it seriously. I think it's just there is a lot of it, a really large amount, astonishing amount. Like, I don't know, an estimate, if I had a ballpark estimate, I'd say about 4,000 miles maybe, of ins and outs and stuff. Or would that be the whole coast? Maybe 2,000 miles is closer, but it's a stupid amount of miles. And for proper footpath signage, you're talking about one little disc on a fence post at least every quarter of a mile, probably more frequently really. So that's a lot of work. And yeah, someone has to go and survey it, judge it for suitability. Presumably there's whole loads of thickets and things. You can see one in the middle view there. That looked like it's right on top, that briar bramble looks like it's right on top of the seawall. The path would probably cut right through that normally. So you have to have a whole load of blokes out there with streamers and chainsaws and things as well. Some places need wooden bridges constructed, but like the little token effort we saw yesterday where I fell over. You know, those were redone recently. That looked like new this year's wood. You could smell it. So, you know, bits and pieces are taking shape, but it's such a vast thing. It's impossible to coordinate the whole thing almost. So yeah, difficult to get cross about it. But somehow I manage. Anyway, I'm just gabbling on because this is, as I say, about the 6th time we've come down this road. Once on foot coming the other way. I cycled away yesterday, cycled back this way today. It's been 2 car trips. Have there? Yes. And then I'm going to have to come back along here this evening with the car to pick the bike up and then back to the hotel again along it. Yeah, like I say, 8 times along this bit of road over 2 days. Feeling like an old friend. Or a resentful lover. I don't know. I'm going to walk through it in silence. So yeah, I saw this yesterday. Had me wondering. Footpath closed. That's the red bit. However, I think this is already factored in. Yeah, because the Suffolk Coast Path says go that way and carry on. I think they have to go up to the school turning. Cut through that instead. Where is that? There's like a. Alright, keep an eye out for that. That's the alternate route. What are we looking for? We're looking for a big pond on the left. Some sort of big farmhouse, Bawdsey Hall cottages. Just before that, okay. That track. Right, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was going to get cross about that, but I think that might already have been factored in on my inland route to begin with anyway. I think that's why. That's basically just an ongoing closure. I mean, yes, I grumble about all these inland detours and, you know, path closures and stuff, but they're happening for a reason. This is all very sandy. You saw some of the little cliffs yesterday. It's all basically sand and gravel, this part of the world. And the North Sea is relentless. So I suspect as I go north, up Norfolk and even beyond towards Skegness, up the northeast coast proper, I'm going to see a lot of this rerouting and bits of it dropping in the sea and so on. Because further you get away from London and the big cities, the less money tends to be available for massive concrete seawalls, you know. So just have to take it in my stride, use my wits and wing it. Alright, I'll make sure I don't miss my turning. There's the pond on the left. I reckon it's just up ahead on the right, probably by those houses. Let's have a look. Look for the arrow. It's nice to have an arrow to look for again. Yep, there it is. Post with an arrow on pointing down there. Exciting. Leave the cycling route. This is how I came in, so this is entirely new. Good and outstanding in behaviour and safety. Yes, another one of those sinister quiet lanes. I keep expecting to see like one of those with a picture of a flying saucer at the top of the people, like in the beam picking them up. Don't know. Quite near RAF Woodbridge, a disused airfield, like that way, about 5 miles. And the Google map pins show UFO sites marked on it, which is great. Yeah, it's woof. Right, so let's crack on down here. Seeing new things. Hopefully the sea very soon. I'll let you know. More turf. I'm trying to work out if grass is a nitrogen fixer or not. I know clover is. But if that's... I don't think you'd rotate that. I think that lawn takes a long, multi-year growth to get that kind of texture and consistency. I don't think you can just swap it out with barley next year. Yeah. So it's actually quite wind's picking up a bit, which is great, frankly. Because today is only forecast to be about 18 degrees. Glorious sunshine, no clouds all day. Of course, thunderstorms back home. But yesterday it got up to about 25, I think, and some of that inland stuff was very sheltered from the wind, so that made the whole day quite sapping, quite enervating. But this is, I'm getting just blasts of a nice cool breeze, and the overall temperature's not too high as well, so that's good. It's like a constant outdoor shower of air or something. Yeah, still no sign of the sea. We get there, don't worry. I can sense it in my bones. Yeah, nearly there. Just wanted to stop and take in these fantastic fortifications of varying vintages. Hang on, we come back in zoom mode. Okay, right, so let's try 10 times. There we go. So there's your classic Martello Tower. I think those are Napoleonic in general era, although they were generally upgraded and cemented and concreted during the Second World War. I don't know. And then behind me, that's something a bit more Second World War fresh. Oh, hang on, let's step back a bit. There we go. All abandoned. It's got the word war, I can see, stenciled through the window there. Let's get the full context. And up ahead there's more Second World War, looks like, fortifications. That must be the actual sea up on top of there. And yeah, pillbox here. This must have been a little provincial depot or mustering point of some sort. Did the ironworks say in the end? It's backwards now, obviously it's designed to be read from the inside, but let me see if I can decipher it. Colour contrast brightness is not great either. Prisoner of war. Oh no, it's backwards and forwards. Prisoner of war, it says. So is that what? Some sort of jailhouse? Some sort of holding facility for captured mariners or something? Yeah, don't know. Anyway, here we are. I'm going to get up on that wall. This has been a long time coming, I can tell you. Hello there, hopefully you can hear this. Yeah, so I just did a massive waxing lyrical bit about about the sea and how I haven't seen it in 7 months, not properly like this. And then I thought, oh, I better listen back to that. That was quite profound, and it turned out one of my microphones gone again. I think I think I brought 2 microphones, right? But they're stupid. My phone doesn't have an audio jack, and it's something I curse every phone manufacturer for. 3.5 audio jacks are apparently too expensive to add to phones these days. It will do it all through Bluetooth or whatever. And of course, Bluetooth means you have to charge a battery all the time, which I don't like the idea of. So I got a sort of USB-C to 3.5 audio jack connector. Here it is, Exhibit A. And I brought 2 microphones with me because this has happened to me before, quite often. Just the wear and tear. I only bought one of these. Well, I have bought 2 of those. I got 2 of these, but the other one's in the pocket of my jacket in my hotel room at the moment. So for the rest of today, I'm going to have to just bellow at the phone and hope the phone itself picks things up. The phone microphone's not bad, but it has wind trouble, which is more problematic than with the fluffy microphone I normally use. Unplug Exhibit A, then I'm not actually using it. There's a Rode Lavalier Plus or something. They're 50 quid each. They're quite good quality. I did try a Chinese knockoff one time, and it was awful, so I didn't get anywhere with that. But so they're expensive. This last one, actually, I think the microphone itself might be fine. I think it's the cheapo connector. This was like 3 quid or something off their Amazon, so probably some Chinese dropship junk. But again, that's lasted me fairly well. So anyway, so it's onto this microphone until tomorrow, until I get back to the hotel and get the other connector. Try that out. Consign this one to the bin. Yeah, it's done me all right so far. I shouldn't really complain about this stuff. I do put a lot of wear and tear on these things. Right, so I'm going to carry straight on. I don't think I go on with gravel. Well, I don't want to go on with gravel anyway. Not seeing any arrows, but I don't think we need to. Yeah, so that's right. I was going on about what we're seeing. Another Martello Tower here, one beyond there as well. I think there's a Aldborough might be on the horizon, which is the final destination for today. But we go inland well before that. Not sure what these white houses are here just before. Whether they're this side or that. Is that Alford or is that too near? I can't remember if there were any smaller villages or hamlets on the way for this today, so we'll have to see when we get there, I suppose. But yes, I was waxing lyrical about. I don't actually know where the microphone physically is on this phone enclosure, so there's me trying to cut my hand over it, you know. Oh well, I just have to hope for the best when I listen back. But yes, as I was going on about how I'm not a spiritual person, but I find that the sea is quite spiritually uplifting, certainly after so long. All that inland river nonsense and detours and all that. This is fantastic, being here, seeing it glittering away, rushing sound of waves on the shore, which you may or may not be able to hear on this microphone. Alright, I'm going to stop talking and listen back and see if this is even workable, otherwise it's going to be a silent movie for the rest of today. That brickwork looks a lot newer than the original design. Fancy gazebo thing on top. Yes, some kind of fancy dandy Airbnb or something of the sort. I think a lot of them are nowadays, little museums. Got the one up ahead. So I had a look, that's called Shingle Street up ahead, and that marks the start of Alford Ness out on the seaward side. So it turns from a coast to a river just beyond there. So make the most of this. Maybe there'll be an ice cream involved. I don't know, we're about a quarter of the way through today. It's just gone 12. I got an 11 o'clock start, so yeah, that's all checking out. It's good. Let's keep trudging on. Feet are okay. I mean, like I say, there's a bit of throb. I switched over to my most thickest super bouncy socks, and that seems to have helped a bit. So I think I might just throw out all of my socks and start again with fresh socks, because some of the socks I brought with me and the ones I was wearing yesterday, I think might be 2017 Minehead vintage, you know. So it's possible they've become a bit crushed, a bit flat, not as supportive as they could be. So I think I might, this year I think I might just, once I get back from this trip, I might just ditch all of my socks and start again. New ones, make sure they're proper wool ones. I mean, this isn't product sponsorship, I don't get any money from anyone, but I do like the Smart Wool ones, they're very good. Same with the underwear, they do good hiking underwear too. You don't want cotton against your skin. That's something I've learned the hard way over the years. Cotton kills, as they say. Oh, it's magnificent. A little bit of a tidal pool here, but still near enough to the sea to be happy. Yeah, good. In there. I mean, I don't think this is hogweed, but it looks similar enough for me not to want to touch it with bare skin. Another Martello tower up ahead, which looks more of the original kind of fascia and fittings. World War II gubbins on the top as well, blockwork, pillbox. So yeah, and another Martello tower up there. So it's a good place to come to see for a variety of examples of the type if you're into Martello towers. Yeah, I do apologise for the wind noises on this phone. There's not a lot I can do about it really today. I assure you it's much better than trying to shield my body a bit. Much better than the popping and crackling you'd get if I was just going to carry on trying to use that broken connector. So yeah, Shingle Street's up ahead, next thing. Seeing a couple of people wandering about up and down, so I see a few car parks along here. And we'll see if they've got a little shop or a pub or something I could do with a lemonade. They're probably the only, I think that's the only town I'm going to, well, the only town, only village, only settlement I'm going to see until the end of today. So I've got water and everything, but it's always nice to sit down at a pub and have a lemonade. See what they got. Yeah, it's still got the windiest part of the trip so far, my microphone breaks. Still, here we are, Shingle Street. I'm looking at Google and it says that there's free car parking here and German lessons, so neither of which help me. Not seeing a pub sign anywhere. Still, it's nice to have an arrow to follow again. Yeah, alright, let's just carry on. There's a pub or a cafe or something. I keep cupping my hand over my chest where the microphone normally is. If there is a cafe, I'll use it. Otherwise, we'll just trudge on. It's just I suspect it might just be a little eccentric getaway for small bungalows and converted Martello towers. May not actually be anything here. Just going to sit in the shade for a bit. It's an old Coast Guard building, only closed in 2014. More automated now. Yeah, just done a very shingly bit on Shingle Street. Quite hard work. I could be in serious trouble if it's all like that, but I don't think it is. I think it's back to a proper path over there. You can see the arrow on the post just there. So, and this is basically it. There's nothing till Chillesford really. So the whole rest of the day is just wilderness. So I've got loads of water on the way. There was nothing cafe or gift shoppy here. It's okay. I've been drinking lots of bought bottles rather than using my own water supply. So, which is a good first rule, I suppose, or one of the rules. Never use your own water if you can avoid it. But I think this is going to be the big long trek now. It is pretty windy out there, as you can probably hear. It's marginally sheltered, but so we'll see how we go. I'm confident, but yeah, maybe a lot of head down, trudge on, zone on until we hit the river bend anyway. Okay, cool. Let's sit down for a bit and have a bit of a 10-minute drink and a sit. This looks like me. Kind of glad really it's the top of a seawall rather than on the shingle, which would have been an absolute killer. You're hearing a bell tolling out at sea. It's probably a marker buoy, but you never know, it might be a drowned cathedral or something. So there's not much more stuff until, well, basically back to the end now. So head down, trudge on. Here we are, more tales from Windy Point. Yes, that's Orford Ness, the start of, anyway. If you can hear any of this. Can't get out there. I think there are ferries from Orford to it, but we're going inland anyway. Buildings in the very distance, probably Orford, I don't know, hard to tell. The sandbar here, I don't think it's connected at the other end, so it would be foolish to go out onto it. So we're going to follow around this inland detour lagoon thing and then back up the inside of there along the trees probably. That's the plan. And see where we end up after that. Yeah, not much of a wade, but still, I think I want some saltwatery feet at the moment. I don't know, it does look like it goes a bit deep in the middle. Anyway, get along the path, it's fine. She'll continue to do so. Oh, I don't know how much you're getting of this, very windy here, still. So that is Orford Ness, the one at the back there, which is an enormous peninsula that attaches to Aldborough at that end. And technically making this bit another river. It's the River Orr now, so we're technically not on the coast anymore. Damn it. So we're going to have to carry on now. That'll be the last of the technical walking along the sea until we get to Aldborough again. It's certainly the end of this week's worth of trips. So there we go. Well, I enjoyed it while it lasted. I mean, the River Orr is basically the sea and quite wide as well, but we'll turn off of that as well at some point up ahead, up to a proper little river. So yeah. Doing well so far. I've no real idea how far along I am. A third. I think a single street was a third. I'm probably must be getting on for halfway, perhaps. I don't know. It's 1:30. So yeah. Well, I think we get there when we get there, don't we? Boats there on the River Orr. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Let's carry on. Marsh Barn Coffee Shop, it says to the left. Seems like a trap to me, to be honest. Don't know how far away it is, and is it even open? No, I'm fine. Let's carry on. Carry on round. Heading down the Orr out to sea. Quite fiddly, you got a marina upstream from here. French, I think. How far we are from France. Good long stretch ahead now. Somewhere up ahead, this turns left and goes up to the Bawdsey River. Should be my next waypoint, I suppose. Just about to see Orford in the distance. That's the other side of the river, not doing that today. Yeah, head down, trot on. Let's try a bit more talking. I got my phone right up to my mouth like I'm making a phone call. Hopefully that'll help. So anyway, this looks like the turn. This over there, heading on the left, is the Bawdsey River. I think it hooks around the far end of that reed bed and then turns left. So basically, I just follow this sea wall. It will cut around to the left and head on inland. I think halfway up the river, the Suffolk coast path just gives up and goes on an inland detour anyway, which I'm going to agree with because it ends up where I need it to be anyway, so that's good. Yeah. So over there, I think there's some sort of, I can't remember what it's called now, Hallersley, there's some sort of bird sanctuary island in the middle there, and then the far bit of there is Orford Ness still. Starting to see some of the blocky buildings, the old atomic test stuff. We'll see a better view of that from tomorrow, from the far side, from Orford kind of way. Yeah, that's Orford over there, I think. Which is something for tomorrow. Sorry, I'm going to have to point downwind to try and shelter the whole thing from the wind a bit. But yeah, there's quite an elaborate concrete block structure there. Big pillbox, Second World War era. A lot of that along here. Yeah, felt like a long day. I mean, it's just long stretches with not much happening, you know, not much variation. Much as I enjoy the coast anyway. I mean, yeah, okay, Orford Ness there, and there's technically a river, but it feels like I'm on the coast. But that's coming to an end now. I'm going inland again, up to the creeks and villages up that way. And then we'll be back out there tomorrow. I got some executive decisions I'm going to make tomorrow about the route. I have to lop a bit off and fudge it somewhat, and I'll explain why when we get Yeah, so I should carry on talking now. I'm definitely 2/3 the way there, probably more by now. Let's just head up this river and make it to Chillesford. The car park hasn't towed, the pub hasn't towed my car away. Didn't think there was anyone there, but we'll see. Oh yeah, turning away from the wind a bit now. See, this is the Bawdsey River, and mouth of. Goes up that way to Chillesford. It's about 5 miles long, if that. Nowhere near as bonkers as the Deben or some of the other large obstructions I've dealt with south of here. Not quite the last river I've got to deal with. There's also the Old, which is over there. But it's another one to deal with. So this can be crossed with a little rowboat foot ferry. I don't even know what the deal is. Obviously I'm not allowed to use it because, it'd be simple and easy and convenient and fun. But I imagine, I don't know, is it just like a boat there and you row yourself across? Or is literally some bloke sat in a hut all day in case someone like me comes along? Don't know. I'll find out soon enough. It's not far ahead. Probably around this next bend, I imagine. But then beyond that, I think the SCP, the old Suffolk, keep wanting to say Sussex, the old Suffolk coast path does branch off inland and just go straight up to Chillesford that way. So, and the ECP, the England coast path also follows that. So I'm guessing there's just not very much access along the banks of this river at all. It's almost an afterthought. So yeah. And that applies to the other side as well. I don't think there's actually a path on that side over there. I look at it as a fence post style. I don't know. According to my ordnance survey map, there's no actual shoreline access on that side, so I'm going to have to be a bit cheeky and do some shortcutting tomorrow, I think. But that's tomorrow's problem. Let's get today done. So let's find this foot ferry and then ignore it. Ha. Wow, look at that. A gravestone of the dead. So many benches. Got no name there. Red, white and blue flowers though implies services. Army maybe? Navy perhaps? I don't know why here specifically. Is there some accident on this river? So much I don't know. Can't see any plaque or anything, so I'm just going to carry on, but yeah, interesting. Well, take advantage of the ferryman's rest. So this is the Bawdsey foot ferry. I don't know, is that actually, yeah it is, it's got ferry on one side. Did you do it yourself? I don't know, pull a rope in or something? Operated by volunteers, 19th of April to 12th October on Saturdays, Sundays and bank holidays only between 11 and 1600. Weather permitting. If you need to contact the ferry, oh yeah, there's a mobile phone number. You can see why the England Coast Path doesn't really use these as primary means to ensure continuity of route. £2.50 for an adult. Dogs travel free. Heavy cycles £2. Standard cycles £1.50. I think mine's a standard cycle. Yeah. All very quaint, but I mean, God. 2 days a week normally and a bank holidays, and between 11 and 4 in the afternoon. It's practically useless. Still, there we go. I mean, I remember way back when I was probably in. Oh, sorry, I'll be quite close. I was probably in Devon or Dorset or something, and I was doing a bit of, at that point I had decided to continue and do the whole thing instead of not just the Southwest Coast Path. So I was doing a bit of preliminary research about some of the options and some of the problems that might be encountered in this part of the world. And back then I didn't realise that I wasn't allowed to use ferries, so I was looking at ferries obviously, and this one came up, and I was just so dubious about actually being able to hit this thing while it was running. It just felt completely impossible, and probably was looking at that board. Such a narrow window of opportunity. I'd have to camp out here or something overnight and then make sure I was here on a weekend. But wait until 11. I mean, to be honest, it'd be better off just walking up to Chillesford and coming back down the other side, like I'm proposing to do. I Chillesford's probably about, I don't know, I'm going to guess at 4 miles from here, maybe 3, 4, because the Suffolk coast path does a big old inland deep cut now and goes up over that hill and then joins the road that I cycled my way here, cycled along this morning, and just follows that little country lane back to the village at the top. So, and it goes in a straight line, whereas this river bends around quite a lot. But there is no onward path from here, as far as I can tell. Even the ECP says follow the inland route. Well, the ECP is very lazy when it comes to existing footpaths. Doesn't like to carve a whole new one. So you can just steal another one. So yeah, I mean, no way straight on from here, which is kind of a relief in a way, because this is quicker, I think. It goes over the hilltop and then basically straight there. So that ferry goes across to the other side. You can see some steps just over there, and that path on the other side cuts directly inland to Alford. It doesn't go. There is no path left or right here, which is going to be a problem for me tomorrow. Which is why I'm probably going to have to cheat considerably tomorrow. Well, within my definition of cheating. I'm going to allow myself to just cut straight from Chillesford overland to Alford and then pick up the coast from there and go around. Because according to the various maps I got, there just isn't a coast path along those, left and right along there. So why make life difficult for myself? Not really into speculative wild country yomping this trip. It just I just get into trouble. Right, well, no ferry for me, that's okay because I didn't need one. There it is, the Leaf Ferry closed. Right, go down there, up that track, probably some to the right and up and over, some footpath or something I can follow, hopefully. But I'm still on the signs, which is good. Still on the yellow arrows with the blue background. All good. And there, what's that? Alford via ferry. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so you can use the ferry if you're on the SCP, but given that it's currently just coming up to 3 o'clock on Tuesday, I would have to wait here Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so I'd have to wait here 4 days really, just under 4 days before I could actually use that ferry. I don't have my camping gear, so off we go then. Hello. Something interesting's come into view. Me? Am I interesting? I don't know. Get that far. It's good. So cutting up and over. I like the well-defined bridleway there. It's good. Up and over. Get a good view from up here, actually. See the estuary. Let's do a slow pan. I don't know if you're hearing a word I'm saying, frankly, with this wind. Yeah, I know I've got the other adapter in my coat pocket in my hotel room, so I'm pretty sure that one still works. Something I'm going to have to pay more attention to on future trips. Get more spares available. Is this some sort of barrow? See a lot of Viking longboats all over the place in here. Pleasant and welcome shade here, little crossroads. If I were a wild camping man, I'd be considering putting a bag down here somewhere. That does sort of seem like a busy farm vehicle intersection, so maybe I'd get in trouble. Not my problem anymore at the moment. That's not to say I've given up entirely on the camping. I'd quite like to do that again, maybe this year even. I do need to toughen up my feet and lose a bit of weight before I do that, because the bag's heavy and it wears through my feet, as we saw last time I tried it. Whew, tougher feet, less weight. But yeah, and it'll be easier, I think, going north from here, weeks north of Aldborough. It's just long coastline stretches where no one really minds occasional wild camp. All this inland river stuff is quite circumscribed by a lot of private property and grudging paths, grudging right of access. Don't want to exacerbate things. Oh, this is pleasant, eh? Going up there next. Just carrying on away. So basically just cutting a great straight line around a massive river bend, I think, which is good. That's eventually put me back on the road I cycled along, and yeah, trudge on back home. Right, I'm going to have a bit of water, maybe sit down for a spell. That's 3 or 4 miles to go now, I think. It's good. The end is in sight. Oh, good, there's one. I was beginning to worry. So yeah, so much more agreeable when you've got a clearly defined route to follow. There was a time when I'd just struck off and had just gone north and jumped fences and whatever, but there are some YouTube people who do that. And get another immaculate lawn. Takes a lot of water. It's very dry today. Look at this. It's dust. Could do with some rain around here, but preferably not this week. Maybe wait till I've gone home. Alright, let's keep moving. Ah, pigs. I've seen a few around actually, quite a few fields of them, just not on the walking bits I've been doing. Well, there's dome-shaped constructions there. I hope they're called pigloos. The problem with your pig, you see, is they've got very delicate skin. They burn easily. That's why they wallow, I think. So it's incumbent on the farmer to provide shelter from the sun. And also probably from the cold as well. I'm not sure they've got that much fur type insulation compared to cows and sheep. Yeah. I think they also get human communicable diseases as well, I think, which is why the exterior fence is so far away from the interior areas. Stop them catching like human flu or whatever. I think there are some diseases that transmit between pigs and humans. Yeah. Can't really smell it. Yeah, just countryside. Yeah, seagulls in amongst it all as well, eating whatever the pigs eat. Yeah. Right, I think I follow this till it joins a small country lane, and then that lane goes to the village. So island a bit probably. Yeah, another day where I've just about got the right amount of outstayed its welcome. Really wouldn't want to do much more mileage than I'm done today, which is a worry because tomorrow's a bit longer. So we'll see. Have a rest and head down, trudge on, as I say. Good. Oh, tiny pigs. Oh, this is hard going. It's like walking on a beach. I don't think this is natural soil. I think they just put sand down for some reason. Got lorries up and down. Occasional hiking boot. Yeah, I think I'm still on the Suffolk coast path, but yeah, flagging a bit. Hopefully it turns into tarmac somewhere up ahead. I can cope with that. Right, well, off of that sand now, which is good. So yeah, we just follow this little country lane back to Chillesford now, less than a mile probably, if I remember from this morning. I came whizzing down here and round that corner off on my way to the start point. Seems like so long ago. Alright, let's just trudge on up here, trying to get run over. So here we go, this is the upper end of the Bawdsey River. It just turns into a big old reed bed. Don't even know if there's a channel in there anywhere. That's Bawdsey Mills, tiny little hamlet just south of Chillesford, which is just up ahead. Just basically terminates where the river is. And my car, hopefully. We shall see. So the old Suffolk coast path continues through Chillesford and out the far side and then goes north up to Snape. So it doesn't even bother going down to Orford. That's going to be all on me. So we'll see tomorrow where we end up. But for now, I just want to get my car, get my bike, get my dinner. made it to Chillesford and the pub's down the end now. Hopefully no one's like, taking exception to my cheeky parking. We'll have to see when we get there. But otherwise, yeah, it's end of the day. So, yeah, quite an average sort of day for the overall endeavour. Glad to see the sea again though, that's good. So yeah, so we'll be picking up again from here. And carrying on to Snape, I think, the long way around via Orford. So hopefully there's no trouble with the car. Or the bike. Actually, there's a lot of things that could go wrong at this point. Anyway, let's keep trudging. But yeah, it's otherwise an unremarkable village. In retrospect, I should have just thrown it along this curb here. Probably would have been okay. Oh well, live and learn. Well, there it is. It looks okay. Can't see a wheel clamp on it or a truck blocking it off behind or anything. Let's see if there's any clamp on the other side or anything under the wing, under the windscreen wiper. But at any rate, I'm going to sign off now because I'm going to have to jump in there and run away quickly before anyone comes out. So, see you tomorrow.